Bola Tinubu's request to the National Assembly seeking approval to borrow $347 million under the 2025 to 2026 borrowing plan. According to the president, the loan is necessary due to a rise in the funding needs for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, whose cost increased by $47 million. From $700 million to $747 million. Recall that in May, Tinubu sought the approval of the parliament to approve the 2025 to 2026 borrowing plan of $21.54 billion, 2.19 billion euros, and 15 billion Japanese yen, in addition to 65 million pounds, 65 billion euros grant. With the extra $47 million for the Lagos-Calabar Road project and $300 million for the Universal Communication Access project, the initial $21.54 billion has witnessed a marginal increase to $21.89 billion. And then the second topic for discussion, PDP being decimated with more defections, as Anyekan Basi, Ekong Samson, Francis Fadawusi, and Olubi Fadeyi, 4 senators elected to the platform of the People's Democratic Party PDP, defected to the All Progressive Congress APC. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read their defection notices during plenary. With the latest shift, the APC now commands 40 seats in the 10th Senate, up from the 50 seat it held at the commencement of the current assembly in June 2023. Meanwhile, PDP's numbers have dropped to 28, following a series of defections from not only its ranks but also from the Labour Party LP and the new Nigeria People's Party NNPP. Labour Party now have 5 senators, NNPP just 1, SDP 2, and ABGA 1. So those are the topics for discussion today. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Souls, you can call me Mr. Souls, but officially, I am Solomon of Fem. Welcome to Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Joining me on the show today is Tunde Kolawole. I beg your pardon, Tunde Kolawole. He's a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Barrister Tunde, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you. Let me quickly tell us, our listeners, that I don't have as many names as you have.
Yeah.
So if you just simply call me Tunde Kolawole.
Yes.
Well, thanks for having me. And good afternoon to all the good people of Lagos listening to us. All the people all over the world listening to us.
Well, unfortunately, you have to go by 2. Okay, so let's just go straight to the topic for discussion.
Yeah.
Now, there's really nothing wrong with borrowing. We all know that all over the world, even US, as powerful as they are, UK, they all borrow. But the problem is the scale, the sheer scale of borrowing is what we're talking about here. I mean, just look at all these figures in their millions and not millions of naira. We're talking about millions of dollars, millions of pounds, millions of euros, millions of Japanese yen. This is what we're talking, the scale of borrowing. And when you see that the ordinary lives, the lives of ordinary Nigerians have not even improved yet, the economic situation is still biting very hard on Nigerians, and you begin to wonder, what are all these borrowings for? Over to you, sir.
Well, let me quickly say that I would like to disagree with you that there is nothing wrong with borrowing. There's a whole lot of things that are wrong with borrowing. And I will give both local and international examples.
Okay.
You will remember that when Nigeria was fighting the Nigerian Civil War, one of the cardinal principles or policy of the government, as postulated by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, was that Nigeria would not want to borrow a kobo to prosecute that war. And then he took command of the economy, and then took over the port and some of those revenue generating places, and put very good hands, intelligent people and incorruptible people in those places. And all those places became the cash cow which the Nigerian Civil War was fought prosecuted without borrowing a couple. Up to today, a lot of people still give applause to Chief Obafemi Awolowo for not borrowing. If you also come back to the recent time, when Alhaji Jakande was the governor of Lagos State, one of his own cardinal principles too was that he was not going to start borrowing money to start financing projects in Lagos. In fact, except he has been able to get the resources and money to do a project, he never embarked upon it. He will be saving the money, be keeping the money, and when he thinks he's comfortable enough, he already has enough resources to execute the project. He goes about doing it. Look at all the massive houses. Look at the metro railway, which General Muhammadu Buhari out of Vendetta council and what have you. Then let us go abroad. Look at a place like France. 3 prime ministers have lost their post in the last few months or even few years because of the budget was unable to balance India, the debt to GDP ratio in France and all that. And everybody is cutting down. I mean, they are insisting that, look, you must not eat what you don't produce. Also look at the skirmishes between Elon Musk and then Donald Trump very recently. Donald Trump is saying he quit the government simply because Donald Trump is amassing more debt without looking at what is on ground and all that. And then when you now come back to Nigeria, I want to look at that. The inflation is still very, very high. The debt to GDP ratio, which is about 50-50 now, is still very high when you look at it. Ordinarily, those things shouldn't be more than 5 to 10%. Your debt shouldn't be more than 5 to 10% of your GDP. And what happens? So if you have a 50-50 such as we have it today, for God's sake, in my humble opinion, it is not ideal, but it is not healthy for the Nigerian economy. It will further fuel inflation and what have you. And but again, you must remember that it would appear that Mr. President is a fan of borrowing. It would appear to me that his philosophy is that you must borrow money to do some projects and all that because of maybe the multiplier effect that will open. But the truth of the matter is that what we are borrowing money to finance in the country today are those things that will readily be able to pay the cost of those loans, that will be able to repay that loan back. The answer is no. Most of the projects for which this money is being borrowed are long-time projects that will not immediately bring the money back into the kitties of the government. Even worse still, you and I will remember that those projects didn't go to any competitive bidding. Those projects, whether the Lagos, Calabar, whether the Calabar to Meduguri and all that, they all didn't pass through what I would call competitive bidding or due diligence before the federal government began to execute those programs. I think it was only because of the Federal Executive Council and what else. Whereas ordinarily that should have been the National Development Plan, or they should be in the budget, the current budget, and then the last year's budget before you begin to execute those. Those are gross violations of the law, and then they will most likely fuel inflation. My own little economics that I did, I told you last week, I read the economics of the secondary school level, and what we were told is that in period of inflation, we should cut down on public spending. For example, now America is cutting down on all those aids, all those welfare programs, all those health issues, health finances and what have you. The same thing is happening in France. The same thing is happening in some other parts of the world and other. So if Nigerian economy is different from what else, do we know economics better than the American people know? Do we know economics better than the French people know? Do we know economics better than the English people know? The British people know it? Honestly speaking, what we are doing might be having consequences on generations yet unborn.
So, in this case, he said, the president said the borrowing is for the Lagos Calabar Road project. I mean, the government have for months highlighted how huge and gigantic this Lagos Calabar Road project will be. I mean, it appears to be one of the biggest and the pet project of this administration. Is that a good reason to borrow such huge amount of money?
No, I wouldn't think so. From the analysis that I have done, I wouldn't think so. You are just piling more debt and debt upon yourself, which by this which impact will begin to be felt when this government has left power. If the present APC government wins in 2007, the consequences of some of this law will be felt after they have left office.
That
it's
is
not heavy at all.
And that is even if it is, that's if it doesn't result to one of the many abandoned projects we already have in the country.
Exactly. And then when you also look at the technicalities of these coastal roads that are being done, you will remember that environmental impact assessment was said not to be done. You also recollect that the security people have said is going to expose the country to a lot of danger. I think that people can just bring in their ships or their boats or whatever, and because of the accessibility of those coastal roads and all that, then they can begin to penetrate at inflation, and then go into the hinterlands to do whatever work they want to do, and then quickly get back to the coast and then disappear with their boat. They would have parked at the seaside and what have you. And even more importantly, when you look at the economics of maintaining a coastal road, it is not cheap at all. In that the ocean has a way of hitting the shores and what happens. Look at the billions of naira that Nigeria has had to spend fending off the Atlantic Ocean in Lagos, India. Look at Palomo, look at VI and what happens. And then the billions of naira have been spent on a yearly basis to keep away the ocean from hitting the hinterlands and what have you. The coastal road is never going to be insulated from the vagaries of the Atlantic, from the violent activities of the Atlantic Ocean. So the plus and minus, I would want to say that the minus of that project is higher than the plus. If we had invested that money on something like a railway and all that, we probably will be better off.
Now, all these borrowing for the cement, the rubber stamp tag that has been labeled on the National Assembly, starting from, since basically when the APC came into government, there's even a debate that the last National Assembly, the 9th National Assembly, and the 10th National Assembly, which one is worse? Well, be it as it is made, this is not a good thing for what the National Assembly is supposed to do, which is to be a check and a balance to the executives.
Well, it is very, very unfortunate. You also recollect, I'm sorry, I tend to do exercises of self-congratulation too many times. You will remember last week that we discussed some of these issues as well as activities of the National Assembly. And to the best of my knowledge, and from what I read, and then the submissions of other people around the country, the National Assembly will appear to be one of the weakest in the history of this country, in that it's merely become, almost Nigerians now see them as a mere rubber stamp. Whatever the president brings to their table, they just merely rubber stamp it and turn a blind eye. Whereas the National Assembly are the only bosses that Mr. President has. If there's anybody that can put the president on his toes and all that, it's the National Assembly, not the Federal Executive Council, not even the Army Generals and then the police commissioners and IGs that we have in the country. So if they are derelict in that duty and all that, then you could as well be saying that this democracy has become a mere dictatorship.
Unfortunately, there's a lot to talk about here, but because of your pressed for time, I'm still trying to look at the time for you to leave. Let's quickly take a look at the second topic for discussion, where the PDP, the decimation in PDP continues with more defections. This time, Aniekan Bassi, Ekong Samson, Francis Fadawonsi, and Olubu Ifade, all elected under the platform of the All Progressive, however, People's Democratic Party (PDP) defecting to the All Progressive Congress. And with that shift now, the APC now commands 70 seats in the 10th National Assembly, up from the 50 seat it held at the commencement of the current assembly in June 2023. And of course, the PDP numbers, on the flip side of it, have dropped to 28 senators, with Labour Party now 5 senators, NMPP 1, SDP 2, and APGA 1. The PDP is getting from bad to worse every day.
It is very, very unfortunate. very, very unfortunate thing, because when you look at the PDP, it's about the only party that you can consider to be a pan-Nigerian party. Is the philosophy of the PDP is not based on any tribe, on any religion, or any regional affiliations and what have you. From inception, the PDP has a pan-Nigerian outlook. All enlightened believe in the corporate existence of Nigeria used to be in the PDP and what have you. When you compare them with the other parties and what have you, those ones began from either regional, ethnic, or religious background. Look at those who marched with the that became APC today. You have PPC by General Muhammadu Buhari, which was a sectional northern and then religious party. Look at the Kwankwanso party, NNPP, and what have you. These are tribal, religious, and regional parties and what have you. And then look at the SPN or whatever you call them. They have their roots in Yoruba land. So, but the PDP is the only pan-Nigerian Yoruba party, pan-Nigerian party that we have. So if that party is now kind of unraveling and all that, it doesn't forebode well for the health of this democracy. It is further strengthening and kind of leading Nigeria more and more into a one-party state, which is very, very tragic. Furthermore, the situation of the 2 or 3 senators at the camp recently in Osun and then the South and what have you. The scenario in those places is very, very cloudy, in the sense that you find out Osun State used to be a PDP state, and majorly because of Atiku's influence. You know, Atiku's first wife, PTI Atiku, he comes from Ilesha, and because of our influence, and then the size of the Ijesha people in Osun State, Atiku tend to win more in those places. So these people from that place are now crossing over to APC and all that. The scenario is still very confusing. Could it be a prelude to the government moving to APC or what have you? Or are we saying that the swinging pendulum as regards who is going to control State come 2027? Also remember that even Adeleke and Co has a very good foothold in Ijesha land and what have you, in the sense that his elder brother, the deputy to his elder brother, Isiaka, who is now the Oba of Ilesha, was the deputy governor to Mr. Adeleke, the incumbent governor's brother, when that was also a governor. So, Father Uti and the other people in the Salah who are to come to those places, I don't know how they intend to really treat. But the formation of the whole thing is the truth of the matter is that Nigeria is gradually shifting towards a one-party democracy. And that should not be surprising to anyone in the sense that when you look at the political practice of Mr. President, he tends to dominate the entire environment. So politically, so to say. He immediately became governor in Lagos State. Most of the other political parties withered away. Even the latter with which he climbed into power, which is the Afenifere, he dismantled the Afenifere structure. And ever since then, Afenifere has not had peace in Lagos State. Also look at, Nigeria as a whole, in Yoruba land as a whole. When you also look at the last local government election in Lagos State, you will see that only APC seems to be campaigning in most places and all that. All the other parties, the Labour Party that people had a very strong showing at the last general election in Nigeria, didn't campaign in the viral, as viral as one would have expected them to, because they ought to be the alternative
party. Yeah.
In Lagos, they didn't do so. I think it is a policy of Mr. President to dominate the environment in which he has found himself and dominate politically. That may be the direction in which he is taking the Nigerian political environment to.
It is sad when you consider PDP was, one of the strongest parties, political parties, not just in Nigeria but in Africa. They ruled the country for 16 years, and
exactly.
While
it all boils down. You see, it all boils down to lack of ideology. It all boils down to lack of philosophy. It all boils down to lack of integrity. It all boils down to people seeing political parties.
At the same time, you can't exactly fault these politicians in this party when you also consider what is going on in the party itself? I mean, we all know. It's not exactly legal, but illegal rather. But it's not. The morality is not as straightforward as you think. But but with the way the party has, for whatever reason, have refused to just put its acts together. A lot of these politicians, some might say, would have little choice but to move.
No, I disagree with you. It is that everybody wants to be in the winning camp because of what they will get to it. In some other countries of the world, people wait. In some other parts of the world, people wait for 15 years, 20 years before their party gets to power. But here in Nigeria, nobody is ready to wait because politics is a means of livelihood, whereas it ought not to be.
Okay, so it looks like we're having interference from you.
Yes, it's like I want to join my webinar now.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, we have to let you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time to talk to him. Unfortunately, he had another appointment for 2:00, so we had to let him go. That was Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner and current affairs analyst, talking to us right here on Matters. It is time for us to open the phone lines for you to make your contributions to what we're talking about. But again, let me refresh our memory. Some of our callers tend to talk off a topic and talk off scale. It's like whatever anybody want to talk about is PDP. It's like what everybody want to talk about is Peter Obi and Atiku. Today is not about Peter Obi and Atiku. Okay, so if you're calling, let me refresh our memories. Let me tell you what we're talking about today again. The House of Representatives on Wednesday approved President Bola Tinubu's request to the National Assembly seeking approval to borrow $347 million under the 2025-2026 borrowing plan. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, read the President's correspondence on the floor of the Green Chamber during Wednesday's plenary. According to the President, the loan is necessary due to a rise in the funding needs for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, whose costs are increased by $47 million. That's from $700 million to $747 million. Justifying the loan request, the President said that when the borrowing plan was transmitted to the Parliament, the lead arranger of the financing only had financing commitment of up $700 million from lenders, stressing that the shortfall in the financing was covered by export credit agencies. He noted that $300 million is needed for the Nigerian Universal Communications Access Project, a landmark communications initiative aimed at bridging the digital divide through the deployment of 7,000 telecommunications towers across hard-to-reach rural dwellers. Recall that in May, Tinubu sought the approval of the Parliament to approve the 2025 to 2026 borrowing plan of $21.54 billion, 2.19 billion euros, and 15 billion Japanese yen, in addition to 65 million euros grant. With the extra $47 million for the Lagos-Calabar Road project and $300 million for the Universal Communication Access project, the initial $21.54 billion has witnessed a marginal increase to $21.89 billion. And to our second topic for discussion, PDP being decimated with more defections. At this time, Anyeka Mbasi, Ekong Samson, Francis Fadahunsi, and Lubumi Fadeyi, 4 senators elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have defected to the All Progressives Congress (APC). President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read their defection notices during plenary. Mbasi and Samson represent Akwa Ibom North East and Akwa Ibom South, respectively, while Fadahunsi represents Osun East and Fadeyi represents Osun Central. In their letters, the senators cited irreconcilable differences within the PDP and the need to align their constituents with the mainstream politics at the center as the reason for dumping the party. They were received by Senate Leader Kwame Bamidele, APC National Secretary Ajibola Bashiru, members of the APC National Working Committee, and Senator Chris Ngige. With this latest shift, the APC now commands 70 seats in the 10th Senate, up from the 50 seat it held at the commencement of the current assembly in June 2023. Meanwhile, PDP's numbers have dropped to 28 following a series of defections from not only its ranks but also from the Labour Party LP and the new Nigeria People's Party NNPP. Labour Party now have 50 senators, NNPP 1, SDP 2 and ABGA 1. The phone lines are now open. The town hall meeting starts now. The number to call is 0700-903-903-903. Again, 0700-903-903-903 or 0803-692-9933. Again, 0803-692-9933. Or you can call or text us via WhatsApp to the number 081-717-56338. Again, 081-717-56338. Our first caller for today. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Solo.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for the good work.
Thank you very much. Your
God
name, where you
you.
calling from, and talk to us, sir.
My name is Aili. I'm calling from Amuodofe.
Okay, talk to us, sir.
No, I don't have anything to say. I just want to thank you for the good work.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's move to WhatsApp now, where we have another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. More calls. Okay, let's go back to normal phone call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, King Solomon Ofen.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, please.
God bless you.
Thank
My
you.
name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanoja in Ekoton.
Okay, I hope you're not calling me to tell me there's no vacancy in Asu Rock again, because
No, the two topics are not related to that at all.
definitely. Okay, thank you for understanding.
So there are two major topics.
Okay, talk to us.
I will
Sir.
start from the second one.
Okay,
That is about
quickly, just
Yes, thank you.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. The defection from other parties to APC
Okay.
is not too good as far as I'm concerned, because it will create one party state if care is not taken.
Okay.
But the reason is not perfect. The parties are not ideologically based. I wish you can go back to, IBB time when we had a little to the left and little to the right, SDP, Social Democratic Party, and of course, National Republican Convention. You understand?
I get you. I mean, the way our politics is set up, APC,
Yeah.
PDP, PBP, BYQ, they're all the same
they
thing.
are not ideologically based.
Yeah.
Like in US now, we have Republican and Democrats.
Yeah. Two
Then,
different ideologies.
In UK, we have
We have the Labour Party, we have
Labour Party.
we have the Tory Conservative Party.
conservative and Labour. You understand? So these are ideologically based. Even in a Nigerian constitution, it is clear that when you defect, it is not good for defection anyway. That is what the constitution says. But there's a caveat there that is when there's problem, a crisis in your party, you can defect. And this is what Nigerian politicians have been using. The
As an
advantage that they
excuse.
use to defect, which
Yeah.
is very, very bad.
Yeah.
But I thank God that there's ADC now. I think with the formation of ADC, we will have a viable opposition.
Okay.
Either it will be APC opposing ADC, that ADC will be in power in 2027, or vice versa. You understand? So the fear for one party state will not be there anymore.
That's hoping the ADC after the 2027 election would not disappear the way PDP and Labour Party have.
No,
done
I'm not sure it will disappear. If they
Let's
come
hope
as they are
so.
coming now, the coalition, if they come.
Let's hope so. Because politicians are very selfish people,
Yes, but if they come the way they are coming now, all the other people come together in this their coalition to form ADC or another party, ADA is formed, and they move to that place. It will be okay because the present PDP, Labour Party, and the rest are disintegrated. They have crises. So that is why we don't have a viable opposition. So I'm happy that this new party is being formed. So it will stand as a strong opposition. That is for that. Whether there's ideology or no ideology. But a two-party state can even be okay too. You understand? In reforming our INEC and election issues. Two-party state is also more viable than multi-party state. You understand? When many parties just come and they take money and they don't do anything, they are not viable.
Well, it depends on who you ask, because I mean, in a country like US where they have two-party system, you know, there've been a clamor for more parties instead of relying on just Democrats and Republican, because for some people those two parties doesn't exactly fit with their own ideologies. Yes,
we know that. You understand? Even in US where we have a little bit of multi-party states.
Yeah, it's basically two-party system.
And you must be, if you want to defect, you be defect to your own place where you have your own ideology. You understand? Either Republican or the Democrat. So let me leave that anyway. Let's go to the economy itself. That is the borrowing. You see, in budgeting, we have income and expenditure. We have surplus budgeting and deficit budgeting. And when we talk about deficit budgeting, we are talking about expenditure more than income. Now, borrowing actually is supposed to be part of expenditure. And in that borrowing, in that expenditure, we have recurrent and capital. You understand? When you borrow to, it puts money into the capital expenditure, capital project, it will bring income later, if not immediate, but in the near future, very much near future. You understand? So borrowing is not bad, but what is that borrowing meant for? That is what you have to ask. Is it for recurrent or for capital? If it's for capital, just like the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road and the other things, it will be okay. And this is what the government is trying to do at the moment, the way they have said it anyway. Even this $28 billion and the rest we have been saying, if you look at it critically, if you analyze it, it is not presently that they have put that budget. It is 25-26 budget. And not only that, midterm expenditure. You understand? So borrowing is okay, but our politicians, people don't trust them. Nigerians don't trust them. We always believe that when they borrow, they put it into their own private pocket.
Apart from even trust, I mean, right now we are in a dire economic situation where the president have asked Nigerians to be patient, and of course, Nigerians are always patient people, and we've been patiently waiting. But for a president that said Nigeria should be patient, Nigeria should manage with the times, one would have expected that he would lead by example. You can't be borrowing more than you are bringing in, and then when you see the exorbitant life that politicians still living, with a lot of them traveling abroad for medical, expenditures, medical tourism, and all that. That isn't exactly sending a good message to the ordinary Nigerians. That is what we're talking about. I mean, we all know borrowing is not wrong. But when you're borrowing and lots of Nigerians are still suffering, they're not seeing the effect of the borrowing, then of course there will be lots of questions to be asked. That is the problem.
Very correct. You are very correct. It's because of that mistrust between the leaders and of course the people. We don't trust them, and because of high cost of governance, that's also the problem. The profligacy of the government itself, especially our president. That is why many people don't trust him. But he has good intentions if you look at it critically from the financial point of view.
Unfortunately, we are not gods. We can't look at intentions. We can only look at actions.
So what I say intentions, what the borrowings are meant for, the way it has been explicitly stated by the central bank governor and of course Minister of Finance. You look at it critically. I've just mentioned one good example, the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road.
Yeah, the Lagos Calabar, the same Lagos Calabar Coastal Road that if you had to follow our politician antecedent, we have lots of abandoned projects all over the country.
Even look at, there are some local areas they don't have telecom this thing now, but with this new borrowing now, many of them we go into the local areas and they be open for, to telecommunications. And not only that, this one will bring employment.
Okay.
So, to me, borrowing is not bad, but what is it going to be used for? There's always that so that is why Nigerians don't believe
unfortunately, we I wanted to say we should wait and see, but we can't exactly wait and see because Nigerians are suffering. So unfortunately, we have to give time for other people to talk. Thank you very much.
Let us be prayerful.
We are tired of praying. We are tired of praying. We have too many churches and too many mosques in this country. Okay, thank you very much. Let's give opportunity to others. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, King Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show. Tell us your name, where you're calling from. Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My brother.
Okay. Talk to us, sir.
Yeah. I want to use this opportunity to ask about Peter Omonse. I've not been hearing of him. He has not been making calls like before. I hope he's well with him.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know who you're talking about.
Peter Omonse. He's a regular caller in your VOP.
Okay. I'm just a month.
Anyway, let me go to the issue of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. King Solomon.
Yes, sir.
I am a businessman.
Okay.
I have transactions between Nigeria and outside the country.
Okay, sir.
And I sometimes go to the bank to borrow money. Mm-hmm. You are borrowing that money to invest and make profit and create employment.
Okay.
Not you borrowed money. Any businessman who borrowed money to go and buy a luxurious car, we definitely run into deficit. And then maybe the bank you borrowed that money from, we get hold of maybe your property which you use as collateral.
Okay.
When you look at the way and the manner, the APC government have been borrowing money. We cannot point our finger at one particular thing in the last 12 years and said the billions borrowed, this is what it was used to achieve. If you travel on the road from here to the east, the Benin bypass is like a death trap. If you travel from Benin to Warri, if care is not taken, you are going to spend a whole day just between Benin and Warri. If you travel from Lagos to Kogi to Okene going to Abuja, it's another death trap. And these are roads that are interconnecting from one state to the other. And they are everyday effective road that people apply. So why is APC in a hurry to go and begin to develop a coastal road that we don't know when it will be used? If you look at it economically, that road is not our need at this point, because it's not going to create in the next 2 years employment for these thousands of graduates that are passing out from our tertiary institutions. That road is not going to give us that. You can point today and say there are factories and industries that have been established through the borrowings that the APC government have done in the last 12 years. That is known. We can't say we are enjoying electricity because of the money borrowed. We can't say that our Medicare has upgraded up to maybe, let's say, from 15% where it is today to maybe about 50%. Go to the pharmacies, take the cost of drugs today. So the borrowing is not affecting our lives. The borrowing is only affecting the pocket of politicians. Okay, look at how flamboyant they are living. Look at the money they call is it constituency money released to each senator and house of rep. My brother, go to their various constituencies and check what these people are using this billion to do. They will buy wheelbarrow, buy cutlasses, and share to farmers, and they will tell you it is from the constituency project.
I mean, one bought bike tires and give to some people. I mean, just tire.
This is look, King Solomon. Sometimes I begin to ask myself a question. I said, is there something that fundamentally wrong with us as a people? Because I've been to Togo, Cameroon, Ghana, Ivory Coast. These people are not as rich as us, but look, the government manage the little resources they have, and they try to make their life there easy.
Okay.
But why is it that God has so much blessed us here, and we're living like the poorest of the poor in the continent of Africa?
Unfortunately,
our education has collapsed.
We have to let others talk.
Tell me what is working. There is no need of borrowing this money.
Okay, we get you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a WhatsApp call. Let me go to normal phone call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show. Your name, where you're calling from?
It's Ikoro from Izando.
Sorry?
Ikoro from Izando.
Okay, Ikoro.
Yes.
Okay, talk to us, sir. Yes,
yeah,
talk to us, sir.
Like I always advise Nigerians that for the last person that spoke, I always say as well. And Mr. Peter from there's one Mr. Peter from Subscribon. I always like when man talking. The defection of carpeting by politicians. We are not seeing the people who are against the masses, people who are fighting the masses, people who are enemies of this country. We are not seeing them very clear and very bold. You understand that?
Okay.
All the old politicians, all the people we knew, the disciples.
Sorry, you have to be a little louder. We can hardly hear you.
Okay. The wicked and the heartless politicians, we are not seeing them very bold. We are not seeing them clearly. Yeah? We are not seeing the enemies we are going to fight from 2027.
Okay.
You understand now? The threat we are even hearing and seeing here and there is nothing to compare with the kind of threat that will come by 2027. But one thing I keep telling people is, the only one who doesn't know what this life is talking about. What we are facing today is the mechanics on the streets, the wheelbarrow pushers on the streets, and the petty traders on the streets are passing through hell. When I say hell, I cannot tell you what I'm facing at the moment. You understand now? The Nigerians who will come out come 2027. This election is going to be against. It is going to be about Nigerians versus APC and Tinubu. The man who doesn't care about how the masses feel, doesn't care about how we survive by the day, doesn't care about how Nigerians feel. But one thing I'm very, very sure of, and I'm not disappointed with the man, is somebody I've known him for a very long time. He even admitted that was a kind of self-indictment. He was clear the winner. He said, I know many of you do not vote for me. Because when you say many of us do not vote for you, then how come we are declared the winner? So even the worst of this government is yet to come. The worst of this government is yet to come. I'm not going to be surprised about it. After all, Buhari, who led the foundation, is no more. You understand? Because when Buhari was coming up, people were saying, Baba, Baba, Baba. I said, see, this man, the Buhari I'm saying then has nothing to offer to Nigeria. Rather, it is coming to impoverish Nigeria. I wasn't surprised when everything about Buhari was going on, because I was saying it. Here comes Tinubu. Nigerians are still facing times 100 of what we faced during Buhari regime.
Okay.
The worst of this government is yet to come. I'm I'm not going to be surprised if every one of us will wake up.
We pray not. We pray not. We pray not because we're already in hell. If this is not the worst, then I just don't want to imagine what the worst would look like.
This is just the reality. Let us not live in denial. What we are facing today is a kind of it's something I can't even have the word. I don't have the word.
Okay, sir. We get you. We understand what you're saying.
So unfortunate. Nigerians should just get themselves prepared. If you don't have PVC, make sure you go out there and get the PVC. No matter the fight you face, no matter the threat, no matter whatever. So
okay,
sir. If is threatening you not to come out, make sure you threaten the person as well.
Okay.
We cannot continue living like this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. I'm trying to pick a WhatsApp call, but I don't know what's going on. John Legend, you have to call us back. I can't really pick your call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello,
yeah, good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm calling from you.
Yes, so talk to us, sir.
Yeah, to borrow money to do road. This road where they want to do now, this coastal road. So test. Now me and you go. God will give us life. This road, they don't go finish in 50 years coming. See, if that money where they borrow now, because I know that they already borrowed the money is already in pocket now. Let them use that money. Forget about coastal road or no road. Let them use that money to make sure our security is tight. Our hospital is okay, and our electricity will get little stable light instead of using to coast the road where they don't finish in 50 years coming. If this road every time when I hear tell me they go commission that road last 2 months, they go commission the road small 3 just like 100 square road. They go do commission it 2 where they only 1 square road where they don't do. When they use that money to do important things, Nigeria is dying for hunger. Medicine is too cost. The ordinary common paracetamol enough. But if you go better pharmacies at 500 naira, where did they sell 15 naira before or 10 naira? So this coastal road, even if that one that they hear that the thing they bomb my head, they scatter my head. I don't want to be hearing it again. Let them forget about. Let them give us security. That's number one. Light and the hospital. This one where they grown to go abroad. If they use it, do one hospital for Nigeria, all this abroad where they go, make them stop it. I prefer that road to do. Prefer them to do that hospital than to do the road. All I want the whole road is already spoiled. From here to east, from here to Benin, no road. From here, no road. All our former road is already condemned. So let them do necessary. When they forget about the road, when they use that money for another thing. Because if they use that money for that road, that God of that road go fight them. That's my own contribution. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. Let's go back to WhatsApp. Let's see if we can pick more calls there. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let's go back to normal call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Solo.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for a good job well done.
Thank you very much, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
I'm Edward, calling from Sango.
Edward from Songo. Talk to us, sir.
Yes. You see, in the first place, you know, the time they want to start this coastal road, they did not submit that project to National Assembly. And I don't think National Assembly signed it. But now, look at how National Assembly have been forwarding bills or joining to sign money towards that project. And this project, they did not fully carry Nigerians along to tell us the benefit in this kind of coastal road when we have existing roads before we start to repair.
That are in bad shape, apparently.
Yes, bad shape, yeah. So you see, what I will call this is that sometimes we, the Nigerian people, we are too much talking and forgetting to do the necessary thing. We support, like in this defection also, is because of bad governance that make people who doesn't seem to do their real job in the state will be jittery to enter APC. Everybody knows that APC government is not governing very well. and even in the future 2027 they are proceeding. Nobody knows what they are going to achieve, because presently now they are not giving us anything. So I am embarking Nigerians to be more focused. Let Nigerians follow them up with this particular politics they are playing now, because if we believe that it is only politicians will be doing that, they will be cheating us. Like this incoming election now, let Nigeria be fully focused and participating. At least number one, let them arrange their family holds. Any child in the family that is up to 18 years, let him get his voter card ready. And also, when we are proceeding, before that electronic, reforms of electoral reforms.
Electoral reform, yeah.
Yes, let Nigeria have it in their agenda that electoral reform must be achieved before election. This is not that maybe we are just talking. That must is capital MUST. Must. So let them know that if really they are the people governing us there, if they are really elected people that are on top of the seat governing us, whatever we say they will do is what they will do. I read a book, Tough Time Never Last, but Tough People Do. And this thing is that if you give them too much of gap, they will continue to cheat us. Okay. Because politics is a business for politicians. So if you leave only that the business for politicians, we will always be crying bitterly. So let us be focused and let us be joining our effort in making this 2027 a realistic place.
Okay,
too much of complaining is not good at all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Okay, let's read some messages on WhatsApp. Let me suspend. I have to suspend calls for now. I have some messages here. Let me read them. Where do I start? Okay. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Souls. You like to give Peter Osifo much time to talk, but when others talk, you time them, so try to balance it, Florence. Okay, Florence, so here's the thing. Peter Osifo doesn't believe in what so many of you do. So whenever someone else is talking and there's nothing much to oppose, I allow you to talk. But because Peter Osifo has an opposite view, I have to balance it by tackling him, by asking questions, and because of that will definitely take a little more time, because if I allow him talk, you guys will complain that I let him talk without having to asking him some tough questions. So I had to do that. But 90% of you say the same thing, and if you notice, I don't interrupt most other people. So 2 minutes is enough for you to say what you have to say, okay? But the Peter Osifo is a different case, so I have to because he's a discerning voice, and we are not here to silence people. So I have to ask him some tough questions, okay? So don't be jealous. Okay, this is Aries from Agor Palace. The man speaking is an APC apologist. I hate people who are delusional in their thought. Hypothetics everywhere. Okay. Good afternoon, VOP. In a same country, removal of subsidy, borrowing money and taxing the people is used for development, but here your government borrow to loot, live their luxurious lifestyle, wasteful and unnecessary traveling. They turn the economy to disaster. They turn the people to beggars. And Algeria is in the midst of plenty. More than 7.2 million private and public and SME shut down because of this government obnoxious policies. Do you know the number of people that lose jobs in these 2 years of nightmare of this government? Many professionals jeopardize jackpot rather, including doctors and nurses and other health professionals. In other countries, the doctors and other health practitioners are the highest paid on the world, unlike your president and other politicians, because they save lives. Imagine more than 100 million out of school children, highest in the world. All sectors is compromised and in the dead state. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Ade from Lagos. Thank you very much, Ade. Good afternoon, sir. Please help me ask President Bola Tinubu, why did APC party carry their neck meeting to presidential villain Aso Rock for APC or Nigeria state? Gradually, Nigeria is now one party state. It has never happened in history of Nigeria before. I agree to Big Solo. Nigerians should support Mr. President to get more loans and fix the coastal road, which will be later renamed after him. I see what you're doing there. You're quite sarcastic. On your mandate, we shall stand. Sheikot from Itire. Thank you very much, Sheikot. Good afternoon, Solomon. It's quite unfortunate that there is no serious opposition in Nigeria. In my major worries are the people giving unnecessary excuses for their laziness. Most annoying statements they are resulting to these days is the 2027 is between Nigerians and APC. Which Nigeria? Solo, which Nigeria are we talking about? So, King, time you are given to your caller is too much. We need a divergent opinion. Every 2 callers, 2 minutes. No greetings. Rather, your thoughts strictly on topic. My advice. Okay, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Turn off your radio and TV set. We're getting a call back.
I'm out of the radio. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Okay, talk to us. Your name? You're
My
calling
name
from?
is Tobin. I'm calling from Elasa.
Obinna from Ilasa. Okay, talk to us,
Yes.
sir.
I think the only solution against what is happening now in this country is electoral reform.
Okay.
If Nigeria does not genuinely do electoral reform, this thing that is going on now will continue. My own idea of electoral reform is that the ballot papers that will be used for election should have ID numbers of individual voters. That ID number that used to be on the voters card will be printed on ballot papers. So when you go to vote, they will look for your own ballot paper and give it to you, tear it out like you are tearing a checklist from a checkbook, and give it to you to vote. When we do like that, it's like you personalize the ballot paper. We have to personalize it so that we will not have issues of reading. Then after that, the election will now be the result will be uploaded to the IRF from the ballot from the polling station. There will be nothing like going to collection center. No, everything will be done and end at the polling station. But the first step is to personalize the ballot papers, both for presidential, gubernatorial, national assembly, all the elections will be done one day. But all the ballot papers will have serial ID numbers for each person. Everybody in the polling station will have his number on his own ballot paper. That's what I think, that if we do it, we can start this APC government. If not, this man, they will rig him back into the system again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, we've all been crying for crying for electoral reforms, but this government doesn't look like they're serious with that, because I mean, if we do proper election the way it should be done, lots of them will not come back to power. So I think they're trying to minimize that as much as possible. So I'm not sure they're serious with electoral reforms, unfortunately. That was a WhatsApp call. Let's go back to
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
My name is Chugs.
Chugs, calling from. Hello, sir. You're gonna have to call us back. We do sincerely apologize for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, madam. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my name is Madam Peace. I'm calling you from Barwa, Ibadan.
Madam Peace, right?
I'm quite here.
Okay. Talk to us, ma'am.
So the thing is that this money they are borrowing for the coastal road, Tinubu will never finish the coastal road before he leaves office. By paraventure, he's not coming back in 2027. That road will be abandoned. There are many roads within the city, old roads, that are so bad. How long have you been to Calabar road? From Uyo to Calabar, it's a death trap.
I know that road very well.
A truck failed on a two-seater bus that was going to Uyo. You understand? They're supposed to fix all these things before they think of other ones. Make life easy for people. They are starting this.
Unfortunately, looks like she ran out of airtime. Please call us back. Hello, good afternoon for joining us. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Mr. Solomon, once more.
Hello, sir.
Once more. Good afternoon.
Oh, okay. You're calling again? Okay.
That of electoral reform is very, very important, because it's one of the things that shows that we are ready to make a change. Because the people we have at the helm of affairs today, I think that is the only area they succeed in doing their regional and all the electoral reform and all the electoral fraudulent. You understand? I believe doing that of electoral reform to compel and mandate the INEC to transmit from the polling booth straight to IRF and the INEC database. I think that will reduce the level of electoral.
Well, let's hope this National Assembly will be serious about that. And unfortunately, I'm not optimistic about it, but hey.
Honestly speaking, the body language is not even showing that these people are ready to do any changes. That is the reason why many of them cross-carpeting to APC, where they are sharing the money, that they continue sharing and looting the money that they don't have anything. Anyway, it's well.
Okay.
Nigerians will need to come out 2027.
Thank you very much, Ikoro. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go back to WhatsApp. We're reading more messages. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. People like Peter Osifo can never say anything wrong as long as APC government is concerned. All this boring. I'd like to know if any have come to the remotes or Baraje, all the ones collected, any accountability from Buhari to date, while borrowing every other month. We are watching and waiting for 2027. Kenneth from NNPC Ejigbo, Lagos. King Solomon, I'd like to ask why it is impossible to provide potable water in Lagos since 1999 with all the revenues being collected. What they are after is to borrow to live life like there's no tomorrow. APC supporters should be ashamed. Kenneth from NNPC Ejigbo. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Big Solo, I greet you, bro. Africans are so deceived with religion to the extent that they want to suffer here and go enjoy in heaven, while the white who borrow the religion, who we borrow the religions from, are living in their heavens. I'm yet to know a country fixed by just praying. Sheikot from Itire. Good afternoon, Solomon. Solomon Asika. Hey, my namesake from Mushin. Borrowing money is good, assuming it's being used judiciously for this purpose and not consumption. Lagos Calabar Rail is a white elephant project which will never come to fruition. Why not maintain the old roads like Lagos Shagamu Benin Road and tolling it back again? This Lagos Benin or a road has been a death trap for long, but you will see construction companies year in year out in the same road, which baffles me. At times I do wonder what they always do on that road. Thank you very much, Solomon Asika. Good afternoon, King Solomon slash VOP. May God continue to strengthen you always in VOP. Amen. Please, the issues bordering on Nigerian continuous money borrowing. I have been thinking that the major problem of Nigeria as a nation is mismanagement of public funds. In fact, there will never be a safe way out of indebted country. Meanwhile, must Nigeria borrow to succeed as a nation? Nigeria has been borrowing since the independence, yet nothing has seen to have been done with the borrowed millions of dollars, thereby made Nigeria highly impoverished all years long. Meanwhile, what happens to millions of revenues and tax generated funds which comes into the federal government bursary on daily basis, especially in a country like Nigeria that was largely blessed with natural mineral resources? However, wisdom demands that every borrowed money should be used for investment, not to be pocketed or shared by few political individuals. So what I'm trying to say is, until this country stop borrowing money, Nigerians should not be free from national economic slavery. Royal Apostle Ijegun from Lagos. Thank you very much, Royal Apostle. Solomon, for the first time, you have to apologize for terming a lady jealous instead of seeing it as an observation. After all, today it is my first time that the sifa of a man is talking without annoying other listeners. Pastor Andy from Fadi. Well, I do sincerely apologize. Look, okay, you said for the first time he has that to sifa of a man is talking without annoying anyone. That's because he's talking to me, okay? We don't have to give room for everybody that believe in the same thing. It's not even right in the first place. No matter how bad somebody is, or they would definitely have followers, and sometimes we need to give space for those people to talk. You need to understand that we are not robots. We all can't think the same way. All Yorubas are not the same. All Hausas are not the same. All Igbos are not the same. All APCs are not the same. All PDPs are not the same. All Christians are not the same. All Muslims are not the same. We have to give spaces for dissenting voices. That's one of the beauty of democracy, after all. So if you guys think I'm going to stop giving Peter Osifo time to talk, then well, unfortunately that's not going to happen, okay? So sometimes I have to balance it, which is why I have to tackle him sometimes, okay? So that tackling sometimes will take some time. So I do sincerely apologize. It's not what you think it is. So I wasn't calling the lady jealous. I was just calling every other people that think saying I should not give Peter Osifo time at all to talk. That is wrong, okay? We have to give everybody time to talk, whether they support APC or not. Unfortunately, that's how it is. We all can't think the same way. We all can't hate APC no matter how bad they are, unfortunately. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Nigerians have never had it this bad. Our farmers can't go to farm, killing everybody, killing every day by terrorists, but yet they close our borders for food to come in. This is total wickedness. Definitely they ignite hunger deliberately. This is the apex of wickedness from the highest order. God will surely judge them all. KJL. Thank you very much, KJL. Hello, good afternoon.
Solomon,
Hello.
please, I forgot to ask you this question.
Okay.
What happened to our constitution that says when you defect from a party to another party, you loses that position, whether there is crisis in your party or not? As far as you are in the House of Parliament, once you defect, you lose that position. And Supreme Court have ruled on that issue. So why is that not being carried out by INEC reorganize another election for those who have defected?
Hello.
So what happened? Can you educate us, please? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but from lawyers that have come out to talk about it, there seems to be a loophole in that constitution that makes it difficult for people to go to court and sue those defected politicians. There is a huge loophole, and that is why people have been crying for constitutional review, and hopefully that is one of the things that should be addressed in the constitutional review. There is a loophole, and those loopholes are being exploited by politicians successfully, unfortunately. So it's not as straightforward as that. Good afternoon, VOP. How much is the railway constructed from Nigeria to Maradi in Niger Republic added to Nigeria economy? Samuel Oshodi. President Tinubu already knows that he will be voted out of office come 2027. That is why he's making more moves to borrow Nigeria, to borrow money in order to finally finish the existence of Nigeria. Akaniro Kingsley Yaba. Good afternoon. Nigerian currently borrowed to feed. APC government since coming into in 2015 uses incessant borrowing to loot savings extorted from the people's consumption capacity to finance their insistence in government, especially elections, and not necessary to give any development to the people. Look, the repayment of these loans and the interest payments are shrouded in secrecy and not published for public criticisms. Here lies the looting pipes. And when the people see it, it's hard to feed in the times huge savings from subsidies and increased taxes. It is only informed conclusion to say that Nigeria currently borrowed to feed. We asked now, President Tinubu should answer it with better proofs, if not the case as we have understood it. Tochukwu Adele Thompson from Obanikoro. All of us will just be talking from the corner of our houses instead of us to come out and do the right thing through the peaceful protest. May God help us. Good afternoon, VOP. There is no amount of reform Nigeria can do on faulty constitution. Our constitution is faulty. Our system of government is faulty. Parliamentary system of government is what suits Nigeria. Nothing more. Elder Isaac from Idimo. The coastal road is business between Tinubu and Chaguri, and the Chaguri company owned by the Indian friend who sponsored his election in 2023. This white elephant project is to siphon money. Good afternoon. Lagos emerged. Lagos is winning different awards. Someone started it. Borrowing is not new to those of us that know how Lagos was before 1999. My problem is for those that politicize every issue and demonize it. Nothing bad in borrowing, but it must tags with a project that will pay the money back. Okay, M. Well done, Solomon. Tell the people asking of Peter Omazai that he is fine. I always hear him talking in other radio stations. Solomon, I am not jealous of Peter Osifu. You give him the chance to talk if I'm jealous. If I'm jealous, I'll take you to court. Florence. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Florence. I wasn't even talking about you anyway. I was talking about people generally that think I shouldn't allow him to talk. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Thank you for your good work. Solo, do you know that soon Nigeria will be named another country because the way our government is borrowing money every day is so alarming? I'm still saying without electoral reforms, this 2027 election have been done and dusted already, even with or without coalition. Okay, Oputa. Okay, let me go back to more phone calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, King Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Francis. I'm calling from Jegu area of the country.
Okay, Francis, talk to us, sir.
Thank you. Please, I have a question.
Okay.
All right. Please, who is borrowing this government all this money?
IMF for one.
I mean, where are they borrowing all this money from?
That's what I've said. IMF.
IMF.
Yes.
Does it mean the IMF is made only for borrowing Nigeria money?
Well, other countries borrow money too, not just Nigeria. But the only difference.
We never hear of that countries coming to announce that they borrow money from IMF. Way we do.
Well, do you know Donald Trump is having issue right now in the U.S. with Elon Musk, Elon Musk and the House of Reps, right? It's because of this more borrowing. Donald Trump wants to borrow lots of trillions of dollars, and Elon Musk does not like it, and he's been tackling Donald Trump for it. So other countries borrow. The problem is not exactly the borrowing. The problem is we really don't see what the borrowing is doing on the lives of Nigerians. That's where the problem really is.
Okay, please, Solomon. Does IMF do ask Nigeria, what have you done with those money I borrowed before I borrow you another one?
Well, IMF will definitely get their interest. So the problem they don't have a problem with borrowing us.
IMF contributed to Nigerian woes. Yes, they are the problem in Nigeria. IMF. I think when you borrow money from someone, you have to pay back the one you borrow before you can receive another one. Why is it that any time Nigeria go to borrow money, IMF will just borrow them once without paying back the one they have borrowed before? That means they have secrets they are not telling us about IMF. We have to pull out from that nonsense IMF. They are not doing us any good. They are not doing us any good.
Well, the problem
money they are there for.
Well, it's part of their obligations. Unfortunately, you can't exactly fault IMF here. They are here for business.
To borrow Nigeria money because they know they are holding us for ransom with borrowing us money. IMF borrowing us every time borrow money. But what have you done with the one you borrow? You buy SUV cars, bulletproof cars, property, fly a private jet with people's money. This is not done now.
I hear you. I feel your pain.
Doing this to us?
I feel your pain.
IMF is our problem.
Well, they are busy. You can't exactly blame the businessman.
No, we don't need IMF. We don't need them. They are the enemy of this country. IMF, International Monetary Fund, they are enemy of Nigeria.
Okay. Well, it is your opinion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That is my opinion.
Good afternoon, VOP. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. Since the government came into power, though, the back door of INEC and judicial has turned the country's economy to disaster by saying subsidy is gone. This shake the foundation of the country and later floated the naira. He even said that they used the money to enter power, so it's not accountable to anyone. Okay, are they from Lagos? I read your message before. Let me read the plenty other messages that are here. Good afternoon, Mr. So, the wise one that knows his job. Thank you for correcting PO. Thank you very much, Mr. So. So this road will never be completed again. Then why was it dedicated before? Buhari has finished the money we have at hand. Now Tinubu has come to borrow in order to get his own. Some APC government. Again, please, these people defecting to other political parties, will they still retain their position, like still being in the Senate? Mommy Sam from Ayobo, thank you very much, Mommy Sam. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. I am highly uncomfortable. Nigeria never borrowed at this rate and magnitude. APC want to finish this country. What shall we do? Chima from Surulere. Thank you very much, Chima. This IMF is actually a suspect in the words of Lai Mohammed, a pastor, ND from Fadei. Thank you very much. Please, Mr. Solomon, there should be no single basis for comparing us to the US in terms of borrowing. The US is a country that works and the government accountable, not Nigeria, that the government is not accountable at all. My name is Ikenna. Thank you very much, Ikenna. Mr. Solomon, I want to ask, is VOP radio station for a particular party or group of people? Because they say some people behave and control you because about you behave and control you people about who to talk to and who not to talk to. We talk about APC party for trying to make the country one party system, yet we do the same here in the station. The same thing we criticize is the same thing we do here. We try to shoot other opposition down. Well, not when I'm on duty. I receive call from everybody. I read messages from everybody. King Solomon, great job. Is if not for deep-rooted hypocrisy, hatred and bias, how can somebody say President Tinubu has done nothing? People make such statements so casually without reflection. Asking for Tinubu achievement is like people living in Rome asking for Pope. It is a shame, Emmanuel. Okay. Okay, it's time for us to go. Sorry, there are more messages coming in now and more calls, but it's time to draw the curtain for this week's edition, for today's edition of Matters. Tomorrow is another day, and Chioma Innocent will be here to take on the show. Thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's always a pleasure putting on this mic and informing and educating and entertaining Nigerians. The program is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and the time is 1:30 p.m. Do follow all our social media handles at VOP 903 FM and subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 903 FM. Again, tomorrow is another day. Same time, 1:30 p.m. Program is Matters, station VOP, Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Again, Chioma Innocent will be here tomorrow. And I will be back next week. I am Solomon of FEM. Thank you.